everyone has at one point dreamt of being the strongest man on earth, as quoted by Eddie Hall himself. And to find these individuals, we often look towards weightlifters, powerlifters, or strongman competitors. But what if I told you that the strongest athletes in the world may be competing elsewhere? Now, I've always been passionate about sports. Growing up, I swam, I ran track and field, and it's no surprise that I still follow a lot of athletes on social media. And as the 2024 Paris Olympic Games approached, I was particularly interested in the training routines of different athletes. I followed sprinters, who are insanely agile and explosive, weightlifters like Lasha Talakadze, who holds the snatch and clean and jerk world records, and even wrestlers and javelin throwers, who are undeniably strong. But the group that shocked me the most in terms of how strong they weren't any of these. In fact, it wasn't even the weightlifters at the Olympics. The athletes who impressed me the most were the American shot putters. Now, for those who aren't familiar, shot put is a track and field event where you throw a 16-pound steel ball as far as you can, and whoever throws it the furthest wins. And this year, American shot putter Ryan Crouser took home the Olympic gold by launching the ball just under 23 meters, or 75 feet.
22.90. 23 meters is under threat here.
And that probably sounds very impressive, but unless you're a track and field fan, those numbers probably don't mean much. So let me put things into perspective for you and show you guys how strong these shot putters really are. This is American Joe Kovacs. He placed second in this year's Olympic shot put event, just behind Ryan Crouser. And here's a video of him squatting 395 kilos, 870 pounds for 4 reps, completely raw. Or consider Ryan Crouser, the gold medalist himself, who was speed benching 200 kilos or 440 pounds back in 2020, and he's only gotten stronger since then. Although it is kind of difficult to find footage of these guys actually training like this because they genuinely don't find it that interesting to post, which is insane. Now, all the shot putters at the top level are insanely strong. You have Italian Leonardo Fabri, Tom Walsh from New Zealand, and Darlan Romani from Brazil. But American Joe Kovacs in particular stands out in an incredible manner. At around 6 foot tall and weighing close to 300 pounds, Kovacs could actually be one of the strongest lifters to ever live. With an estimated squat max between 420 and 440 kilos, he's up there amongst the best squatters of all time, comparable to IPF powerlifting world champion Jesus Olivares. And here's the thing. Kovacs isn't even peaking his squat for a 1 rep max like a professional powerlifter would, meaning his potential could be much higher than what he's already displayed. You never see him prepping for a 1 rep max or a heavy single, and he often trains without any lifting gear. But leading up to the 24 Olympics, Kovacs was posting some insane lifts, like hitting a double bench press at 350 kilos, just a few kilos shy of Julius Maddox's world record, by the way. Now, of course, this bench was not to competition standards. He was using a block, his butt came off the bench, and the spotter was clearly assisting him. So you can decide for yourself how much you want to look into that. But there are videos of Kovacs repping 5 plates on the bench or more completely raw, putting his strength on par with some of the best benchers on the planet, especially since his technique isn't even optimized compared to a powerlifter. He is even incredibly strong with high reps, being able to squat 320 kilos, which is 705 pounds, for 10 reps, completely beltless and clearly with more in the tank. Well, I guess it's a good thing his wife was spotting him. But shot put isn't just about raw strength, as Joe Kovacs would undoubtedly be the reigning champion if that was the case. It also requires a ton of explosive power. And that's why these athletes don't just stick to the powerlifts. They also incorporate weightlifting movements like power cleans, overhead jerks, presses, muscle snatches, and more. Olympic champion Ryan Crouser regularly muscle snatches 120 kilos for reps, and he hip snatches 150 kilos with ease. And these numbers numbers are almost comparable to Olympic level weightlifters. In fact, back in the 1970s, many shot putters also competed in weightlifting because they were so strong at those movements, and because they often primarily trained to get as strong as possible in the Olympic lifts during their off-season. Take Werner Günther, a 3-time world champion shot putter in the 90s. Standing at 2 meters tall and weighing 130 kilos, he wasn't just a shot putter, he was an overall athlete. Günther could jump insanely high, run hurdles, and basically do every track and field event to above an amateur level. And over time, these shot putters have only evolved to become stronger, bigger, and more powerful, to the point that where today we're seeing athletes who are essentially super explosive powerlifter-weightlifter hybrids. And you could only imagine how these athletes would do in actual powerlifting, weightlifting, or strongman competitions. But it's not just these behemoth shot putters you should worry about, because discus throwers, hammer throwers are also up there amongst the strongest athletes, like Swedish Daniel Ståhl, who is able to rep out close to 800 pounds on the deadlift, and he regularly push presses close to 200 kilos. And in my opinion, these athletes deserve a ton more respect from the strength training community than what they're currently getting. Maybe we should look at their style of training and incorporate elements of that into the gym elsewhere, like plyometrics or training at different rep ranges with compound movements, doing large exercises that require both explosive power and maximal strength to be proficient at. Now, there's always time to talk about PEDs, and most top-level athletes in the world are unlikely to be completely natural. But even so, the shot putters are outperforming elite-level strength athletes in events that they themselves don't really focus on. And maybe if powerlifting would become more popular in the future and becomes part of the Olympic Games, we could see a larger incentive to compete across the globe, and maybe these genetic freaks would be out to grab themselves a medal across multiple sports, which would be unheard of. So next time you think about the strongest athletes in the world, don't just look at the powerlifters or the weightlifters and strongmen. Take a closer look at the shot putters, the discus guys, or the hammer throwers, and you may end up surprising yourself, because these athletes aren't just throwing a steel ball, they are redefining what it means to be strong, powerful, and explosive, and they are honestly the true embodiment of strength in sports. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed these videos and want to see more like them, the best you could do is leave a like and a comment. I hope you look forward to more large videos like this one coming your way, and as always, I'll see you all next time.